Hey guys, it's Amy Myers. I'm going to come on live now, so you're going to see the screen go blank for a second so we can switch it over to video. Hey everybody, it's Dr. Amy Myers. Thank you so much for joining me today. I just feel so absolutely grateful to have so many of you on here today who are willing to, take back your health. So today we're going to be talking about 3 simple ways to be beating Candida for good. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Dr. Amy Myers. I'm a conventionally trained medical physician, and I myself was failed by conventional medicine. And after that experience, I found out about functional medicine, which I'll teach you guys about today and tell you a little bit more about myself and about my story and how I've really been in your shoes. Everything that we're going to be talking about today, I've experienced myself, and I experience it every day with my patients. I've worked with over thousands and thousands of patients from literally around the world with complex medical histories, that really what I found to be one simple cause for being a huge root of what's going on with them, and that is Candida, and we're going to be talking about that today. So many of you all are struggling with brain fog and fatigue and digestive issues, and I just want you to know that there is absolutely hope. So we're going to be talking about that today. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with me, you might be hearing some y'alls and things like that. I am from the South, and what I'd love to hear from you guys is your name and where you're from. I'm going to be giving you a shout out here, and I think we're ready to get rocking and rolling. So thanks for joining me today. I feel very grateful. We have several thousand people on. I know more are joining every minute. And so this is just going to be a really empowering talk to help you guys take back your health. All right. Okay, everybody, I'm back. We have Sandra from Pennsylvania, Pam from Georgia, Carrie from Milwaukee, Darlene, Sue, Rhonda, Sophia, Pam, Joan, Debbie. Big shout out to all of you all. We have somebody from Denmark, Holly there from Denmark. We have John from Maine. Love seeing some guys here. It looks like we have Keith here. So usually we have a lot more women than men, but I always love it when we have some men joining us as well. So welcome, everybody. Let's get started. So what I want to do is tell you about a really big secret that conventional medicine is keeping from you. And that is that this brain fog. Now, what I want to say is many of you all probably are here on this webinar because you saw maybe a video, you saw a article that I wrote kind of describing a lot of symptoms such as brain fog, maybe rashes, mood issues, digestive health, fatigue. And many people that I see in my clinic are coming to me being told by their doctors that all of this is in their head. Or worse yet, they're being given all kinds of medications that are not helping them or potentially even harming the situation. So I want you guys to know that this is not all in your head and that there really is a root cause for all of these symptoms that you potentially are dealing with. And what I want to teach you about today, and what we're going to be spending the next 45 minutes to an hour on today, is how you can actually get rid of all of these symptoms and you can beat Candida for good. And you can do that in just 30 days. Again, I've helped thousands and thousands of people from literally all around the world. And very few of the people that I see in my clinic do not have Candida. So I'm very well experienced in, simple ways to figure out if you have Candida, and most importantly, very easy steps to take care of it. And most importantly, it's going to be easy, effective, and it's all natural, which is super key here. So you might be wondering if you're in the right place. Did somebody just send you a link? Do you need to be here? Who is this for? What is Candida? What am I talking about? So just a couple of symptoms if anybody out there is dealing with them. And I'd love to know from you specifically what you're dealing with, because this is really about you guys. I want to be here to be able to be helpful to you. You've taken the time out of your day to be here with me. So I want to be able to be, cater this towards you and what you need from me. So let me know what you're struggling with. It may be some of these symptoms I'm going to go over here, or it might be something else. But if you want to go ahead and say it, Danielle has psoriasis. We'll be talking a bit about autoimmunity as well. So brain fog is probably the most common symptom that I hear of when somebody is dealing with Candida. Fatigue, gas, bloating, redness, itchy, dry skins. I already saw somebody saying rosacea. That's absolutely something that I see. as well as things like psoriasis. So many of these skin issues can have a root cause in Candida. Of course, any type of nail fungus, athlete's foot, a lot of mood swings, and itching of the skin is a really, really big one that I hear. And even diabetes. People with high blood sugars are more prone to have Candida, and then it becomes a spiral. So let's see, Lisa's having chronic yeast infections. Keith is having some fatigue and weakness. Fatigue is definitely something that I typically hear. Looks like a number of you guys are writing about autoimmune diseases, so we'll definitely get into that. Kara has brain fog. Lisa has some joint pain. Summer has brain fog. Kathy has thrush. Well, that in and of itself is Candida. So sounds like all of you all, at least that I'm hearing from so far, are in the right place. So that's good news. So what I hear a lot from my patients is, what's wrong with me? I've been to doctor after doctor, and I keep getting either pushed drugs on me, or else I get told that it's all in my head and they don't believe me. And, for you guys who don't know me, when I got diagnosed with my autoimmune condition, I had autoimmune thyroid, and I was having extreme anxiety and even panic attacks and insomnia. And I went to the doctor, and she literally told me it was stress and completely brushed me off. So I've experienced this personally, and I see it every day in my clinic. And people are just wondering, how can this be? Is there anybody out there who can help me? I've been everywhere and I can't seem to get an answer. And I want you guys to know I'm going to get you those answers today, because there is a reason for this, and there's a simple solution. So many people come into my office and they're really embarrassed by their symptoms, right? I mean, they have itching. They maybe don't feel well. They don't feel feminine or masculine. They don't want to be with their partners because maybe their itching is in that sensitive area. They're feeling really ignored by doctors. And so suddenly they are kind of feeling crazy. I mean, I hear that a lot. I mean, that people actually are coming into me actually beginning to wonder if they are crazy. And they're not. They absolutely are not. And, the main thing that I want to talk about is what, these symptoms are holding you back from. Because so many of my patients talk about, they're just not able to enjoy life anymore because they're either spending all their time trying to search the internet or go to doctors to get answers, or they're literally too fatigued or brain fogged to be able to get up and deal with it and find a solution. So I want you guys to know you're not alone. I've been there myself. I've worked with thousands and thousands of patients who've been where you are, and I've gotten on the other side. They've gotten on the other side, and you too can get on the other side of this. So I want you to know that you can clear this fog. Now, because brain fog is the #1 symptom that I hear from my patients, and of course, feedback from people all over the country who've done my programs, I'm going to keep using this sort of message of a fog because that's the #1 symptom that I hear. But if you're having another symptom like itching or fatigue or even an autoimmune disease, just substitute that for fog here as I'm going through the presentation. So over the next 45 minutes, I'm going to be talking to you about how we can stop the compounding effects of Candida. And this information is going to be really life-changing, hopefully, for many, many, if not all of you. So at the end, I'm going to have a place where you can get even more additional information. And I wanted you guys to answer over in the comments for me. Would you be willing for me to share this additional information where you can get more support if you'd like it? If you could tell me that in the comments, I'd appreciate it. Headley's asking if the webinar has started. She doesn't have audio or video. We haven't had any other complaints, so I'm assuming all is good. Michelle is saying yes. Lori's saying yes. John's, of course. Awesome, everybody. Don, sure. Anna, yes. Great. All right, guys, here we go. So before we begin, I'd like all of you all to eliminate some distractions. So turn off your cell phones. Obviously, many of you are probably on a computer, so shut down Facebook, shut down your email. Try to just give yourself over to the next 45 minutes so that we can be together and we can help transform your life. Most importantly, what I want you to do is to come with an open mind, because some of you might have been following me for a while and this is old hat to you. but others of you might have been invited by a friend. You might have read an article that appealed to you, and I might be new to you. And so much of this information might be new for you. In fact, it might be completely contradictory or contrary to what your doctor has been telling you. So most importantly, I want you to come with an open mind. So if you stay till the end, not only will I be answering your questions, so the first several thousand people are able to actually ask me questions live. So if you stick around, I'll be able to answer your questions. But in addition to that, I have a special bonus for you, which is some smoothie recipes that are going to help you beat sugar cravings. Because we all know if you're dealing with Candida, it's a big cycle. It's like a gerbil on a wheel, a catch-22 with these sugar cravings because that yeast in there needs to be fed. And so it's causing you to crave even more sugar. So we have some amazing recipes using my paleo protein powder that is great to stabilize your energy, and it's packed full of protein. They take 3 minutes or less, have just a couple of ingredients, and we're going to give you these smoothies at the end emailed to you. So my favorite is a chocolate cherry cinnamon kiss. So doesn't that sound amazing? I could take one of those right now. Okay, so why am I doing this training? I am doing this training because first and foremost, conventional medicine failed me, and it is my mission and why I get up every single day is for it to not fail you too. Secondly, I am doing this because it is the most common problem that I solve in my clinic. And when I solve this, literally, it is one of the biggest ahas, or the moment we have this light bulb here where the light bulb turns on for people. You know, there are a couple of things. I don't have any magic bullets in my clinic, and a lot of things that I do in functional medicine take time, it takes effort, but I have a couple of things in my arsenal that are really game changers for people. And this is absolutely one of them. I mean, people calling back to my office wanting, wanting their treatment for Candida is, we kind of joke about it around the clinic as it being sort of the crack cocaine of our office, because people have such transformational stories after being treated. But it's also most commonly missed by other doctors. And as we've already seen, many, many people here have written in that they have autoimmunity. I've seen Hashimoto's, I've seen psoriasis, I've seen rheumatoid arthritis pop up, MS. And this can often be the gateway for those illnesses as well. So we want to get this resolved. So as I mentioned, other doctors are typically getting this wrong. And why is that? I mean, first and foremost, I think it's because they're not listening to you. I was originally an ER physician, and I do remember people would come in with fibromyalgia and sort of vague chronic complaints, and they would be people who would come back and back again to the ER, and I didn't know what to do. And I was frustrated, and I, just would be overwhelmed. And I just didn't know what to do with these people. And they were sometimes, like my least favorite people. And now in functional medicine, they're my favorite patients because I can make the biggest difference. But the way I'm able to do that is because I listen to people. And I know it is not all in your head. Conventional medicine really doesn't even believe that this diagnosis of systemic sort of Candida overgrowth even exists. There's something called systemic candidiasis, and that's a life-threatening illness where you actually have fungal overgrowth in your blood, and that does exist, but they kind of believe that there's either a nail infection or a vaginal yeast infection or dandruff, or there's systemic candidiasis. They don't believe that there's anything in between, and we know life is not black or white, and there's a lot in between. So they are often missing this because they don't even look for it because they don't believe it exists. And because many of these symptoms can be viewed as, symptoms of something else. After pregnancy, you're tired, you're brain fogged, you're fatigued. So they just brush it off as that. Maybe you're going through menopause and you're having a lot of the same thing. Oh, it's just your hormones, or you're getting older. That's why you're forgetful. So they often just brush it off as being these sort of female problems or problems just due to aging. And of course, most importantly, they're not looking at the root cause. So what I do in functional medicine, after I was failed by conventional medicine, and I went on to train with the Institute for the Functional Medicine and learned about really finding the root cause, which when you find the root cause of what's going on with somebody, you can actually overcome diseases. You can reverse symptoms and reverse disease. And that's what I do now in my clinic. So for those of you who are new to me, just ever so quickly, I originally was trained as an emergency medicine physician. I mentioned to you all my second year of medical school. I had panic attacks. I had insomnia. I was diagnosed with Graves' disease. There was no treatment available to me short of blowing up my thyroid with iodine 131. I knew that really, though it solved the problem, was not getting to the root. So I went on a search, high and low. I finally found functional medicine, which, as I discussed with you all, really looks to the root cause of illness. And once I took all the training through the Institute for Functional Medicine, I eventually opened up my clinic in Austin. It's called Austin Ultra Health. And I have literally seen people from all over the world and help them to deal with many issues such as Candida, autoimmunity, and help them reverse and overcome these conditions. I went on to write 2 New York Times bestsellers. Many of y'all might be familiar with the Autoimmune Solution. It's sold over 100,000 copies and been translated in 8 different languages. And also the Thyroid Connection. So these have empowered thousands and thousands of people, literally hundreds of thousands of people around the world to take back their health. I've produced a TV show on PBS called The 28-Day Metabolism Makeover. Also been featured on the Dr. Oz show 6 or 7 times, a regular contributor to Goop, and have been featured in many other magazines. So again, my commitment here is that I want to help people take back their health. I'm on a mission to reach as many people as possible to let them know that there is a way out of this fog. So what I'd like to do is share a story with you of a patient of mine who gave me permission to share her story with you. But this is a story of Anna. And Anna originally came to me, and she was on an emotional roller coaster. She was 35 years old when I first saw her, and she was a stay-at-home mom of 2 small children who were 2 years and 5 years old. And she came in complaining of brain fog and fatigue. She felt like she was under a cloud and that she would forget things like where she put her car keys, where her purse was, where she parked her car. I don't know how many of you guys can relate to that. I'd love to hear over in the we have a woman saying, who's named Anna, is saying, it's not her. but if you want to comment over on the left-hand side, if you've ever forgotten, you walked into a room and forgotten why you walked in, or you can't remember where you put your car keys. If any of this is sounding like you, she put things on her grocery list, get to the grocery store, and then forget the list. She was falling asleep on the sofa every time her kids went off to take a nap, and she could barely get through her to-do list because she was, constantly fatigued and napping when her kids were napping. She'd lost her spunk and her wit and, of course, her sex drive. So things in her marriage were kind of not so great. She'd had acne since she was in college that she thought she'd grow out of but never did. And then since the birth of her second child, she just couldn't lose those last 15 pounds, and she was having severe sugar cravings. She was feeling guilty because she felt like she didn't have any willpower. Like, she knew with the first baby, it was no problem to get rid of that last 15 pounds, but this time it was really hard. She was having bloating every time she ate, particularly fruits, carbs, and sugary foods. And all of that was causing depression for her. And she was really not looking forward to anything anymore. And she was just feeling sick all the time. Then she was feeling really miserable. I mean, here she is, 35 years old, 2 kids, prime of her life, and, fatigued and on the sofa on a gerbil wheel, continuing to eat sugar and can't lose weight. So how many of you guys out there have had any of these same symptoms? Well, conventional medicine's answer for her was, of course, as many of you all have experienced, and as I've experienced, they want to just throw drugs at it. They didn't want to look at this as there being any one central cause. They wanted to give her antibiotics and birth control for the acne. How many of you guys have been on, birth control for acne or antibiotics? They put her on a low-fat diet because she couldn't lose the weight. They told her just to exercise more. I mean, how many of you have heard that? Just to lose weight, eat low-fat, exercise more. Antidepressants for her depression and her irritability, and over-the-counter pills for gas. So this is just so frustrating. I mean, when I hear this laundry list of things, and when she came into my office, and I hear this every day, people coming in, you know, this is what they gave me. This is how, you know, the other doctors wanted to solve it for me. I mean, like, I don't know if I want to be crying in sadness or just furious in anger, but it is just a frank mismanagement of all of these symptoms. I'm literally, you know, kind of getting teary-eyed here, thinking about how conventional medicine failed me, how it failed Anna, and how it's failed so many of you guys too. So I want you to know that there's another way. And let me tell you what I did for Anna. And I'm going to walk you through how I did this for Anna. But the first thing I did for Anna was to listen to her. And by listening to her and hearing her history, which I'm going to show you guys in a minute, this whole interconnected history for Anna of how these things added up and how I knew it was Candida. But listening to the patient, and I see the body is interconnected. So I knew that a lot of these symptoms could have been related to one another. They weren't all separate issues like conventional medicine wants to make it. And of course, I look for the root cause and then treat it as naturally as possible. So in the next little bit, I'm going to walk you through exactly how Anna got here and what we did for her and how we can too get you out of this. Some are saying she cries for no apparent reason. Sometimes I do too, but it's usually when I'm giving a webinar. When I tell you guys that I have goosebumps or I have tears in my eyes or I'm nearly crying, all of my team can attest to that. I usually have one sitting next to me in case anything dramatically crazy goes wrong here, and they rotate out and they're like, she really does like get teary-eyed when she says that. She really does get goosebumps. So it's all real, guys. I'm not lying to you over here. Okay, so in order to beat Candida, again, this is what I've learned in working with thousands and thousands of patients. There are 3 strategies that really stand out to me about how to beat Candida. And one is unlocking the gateway to health. This is alone the most important piece of the puzzle. It's the foundation of my practice, and it's where most all problems stem from. So by looking in this one place, by unlocking this gateway, we are going to get down to the root cause and help reverse this condition. So if we can get number 1 unlocked and fixed, which I'm going to get into what number 1 is in just a second, then most everything else falls into place, whether that's Candida all the way up to an autoimmune condition. So the second is to discover and eliminate 4 dirty secrets for causing your symptoms. So I'm going to tell you about 4 dirty secrets that are keeping you in this boat, that are really keeping the brain fog there, keeping the fatigue there, keeping the Candida there. And number 3 is when we can recognize and reverse the Candida cascade. This is where it really all comes together. So let's get going about how we're going to do that. So first off, when I said, you know, there was a gateway to health, well, that is your gut. The gut is the gateway to health. And so many of you all might be thinking about, you know, how you have these symptoms that are nowhere near your gut. And maybe you don't even have digestive issues, but that you have skin or nail fungus and thinking, how is it related to your gut? Well, let me tell you how it is. Our gut is made up of our entire or a microbiome that includes nearly 80% of our immune system. And it's like a rainforest. And when this rainforest gets out of balance, then Candida can overgrow. And I'm going to show you exactly what happens when that happens. So we need to repair the gut in order to get rid of the Candida and all of these external symptoms. So many of you all might be wondering, what is Candida? And first, what I want to say is there are lots and lots of types of yeast, and Candida is typically the most common form. So when I use the word Candida here, I'm referring to all yeast, although all yeast is not Candida. But if you have been told that you have a different type of yeast, this program and everything that I'm talking to you about in this webinar today will help with whatever type of yeast that is. Naturally, a small amount lives in our digestive tract, and it helps us with digestion and absorption. We all have it. But again, I like to think of the gut as as our microbiome as a rainforest. So we have good bacteria, bad bacteria, we have some yeast. And when this rainforest that's in this natural ecosystem that's in balance gets out of balance, then bad things, such as some people have mentioned they have small bowel bacterial overgrowth. We'll kind of get into that a little bit. That, which is bad bacteria, or Candida, can overgrow and take over. And once Candida becomes a problem, then this, of course, wipes out all our good bacteria, which is there to protect us. It can weaken our immune system, and then it can continue to multiply out of control, which is when we call it yeast or Candida overgrowth, and can really, really become a problem. So let's talk about those 4 dirty secrets that are causing your symptoms. What really is setting you up. So we've already discussed how the gut is so important in this microbiome, and keeping it in balance is so important. Well, how do we even get our gut microbiome in the first place? And this is not a stock photo. That's my gorgeous new baby, baby Elle, who's almost 6 months now. But this is baby Elle and me. And when your baby, really our microbiome is formed in utero, in the mom's womb. And we used to think of the womb as being sterile. But now we know that it's dynamic. And as a baby is born and they go through the birth canal, they take a big gulp and they get inoculated with their microbiome, with mommy's microbiome, and it goes into their intestinal microbiome. So when babies are delivered by C-section, they potentially are missing out on this. Then, of course, we get more of our microbiome, both as microbacteria as well as prebiotics in food when we're being breastfed. So if we miss out on being breastfed, this potentially is a problem as well. And then one of the stories I hear frequently from my patients is that they might have been a patient who was a C-section, then they were formula fed, then they end up with a lot of ear infections, which likely from having milk as a formula, then they get antibiotics, and that wipes out more of their good bacteria. So I have lots of information about how to prevent this or to undo this should you have been someone who's been not breastfed or been a C-section baby. The number 2 secret, or how this is really Candida is overgrowing and becomes such an epidemic for so many of us, is our diets. We are eating very carb-filled diets. Many people are drinking alcohol, which of course, if it's beer or wine is filled with yeast, I like to call that liquid yeast. But even our diet filled with sugar or just simple carbs can change our microbiome. We know that our microbiota can change as a result of our diet within little as 24 to 48 hours, which is a good thing. So if you change your diet to one lower in carbohydrates and higher in real foods, fruits and vegetables and lean animal proteins, you can actually change your microbiome to a good microbiome and get rid of some of the bad microbiome or the yeast overgrowth. So I like to think of, and one of the other things that I'd like to say is many people who are familiar with Candida will talk about eating a lot of fermented foods to help reestablish your gut flora. And I'm different than most people out there. I actually stand out on the fringe and say not to eat these foods until after you've really combated and dealt with the Candida, and then you can add in these healthy fermented foods. But when you're eating too many fermented foods, it is food for the bacteria, for the good bacteria, but it's also food for the Candida. I like to think of your gut like a little fish tank, and when you give them food, it's not just feeding the good fish, but it's also feeding the bad fish. So you want to make sure you get rid of the bad fish before you go in and feed the good fish. And I'll talk more about that in a minute. The third dirty little secret that is causing Candida overgrowth are when we take antibiotics. Of course, everybody knows taking antibiotics is killing off your good bacteria. But what you might not know is that even taking a simple Motrin can disrupt your microbiome and potentially kill off your good bacteria as well. There's new research coming out about that. Of course, steroids can do that. Steroids can also weaken the immune system and lead to Candida overgrowth in and of itself. And we're not 100% sure about the exact connection or the mechanism of the connection, but we do know that estrogen dominance or a high estrogen state, such as pregnancy, birth control pills, and even hormone replacement, though typically not bioidentical hormone replacement, or somebody who's in estrogen dominance can lead to yeast overgrowth. This high estrogen state tends to be a place that yeast likes to thrive. So that's usually a big one for people that they're not aware of. And then, of course, number 4 is chronic stress. So this is another one of those cycles or gerbil on the wheel where, as we're stressed, it suppresses your immune system. When your immune system is suppressed, then the yeast can overgrow. Also, when we're stressed, we have high cortisol. High cortisol leads to high estrogen. We talked about high estrogen leads to yeast overgrowth. So, and then chronic stress can, of course, lead to a disruption in your microbiome. So let me get back to Anna and Anna's story. And this story is one that I hear very, very frequently. And I actually have written, kind of about a story very similar to this in both of my books because it's so common. Anna was born by a C-section and she was formula fed. So she missed out on all her good bacteria. She was then given antibiotics. Remember how she was put on antibiotics and birth control for her acne? We discussed antibiotics can wipe out your good bacteria, and birth control can create a high estrogen state. She then was pregnant, which was another high estrogen state, and delivered 2 children. After that, she continued to have sugar cravings. She was eating a higher carb diet, and then she was not really gaining weight, but she just wasn't able to lose weight. So that probably the yeast had already kicked in at that point, and this is where it's really coming out for her with these sugar cravings. That then, of course, led, as you mentioned, or as I mentioned previously, she had fatigue, she had brain fog, and then she was getting really stressed because she was 35 years old. She was a mother of 2. She didn't feel like she was being a good mother. She didn't feel like she was being a good wife, and she wasn't able to really live the life that she wanted to be living with the energy and vitality. And so all of these things really led to an yeast overgrowth for her, and then the yeast overgrowth led to that other cascade of symptoms of the brain fog and the fatigue and many of the other symptoms, the bloating and digestive symptoms. So we're going to get into that, this Candida cascade that I just talked about. We talked about briefly Anna's cascade. So let's talk about what a cascade may look like for many of you all. For some people, not all, might have bloating, gas, constipation. When I hear bloating and gas, I certainly think either food sensitivities, yeast overgrowth, or small bowel bacterial overgrowth. So yeast is definitely one of the biggest that I see. Now, many, many people with yeast overgrowth have no digestive symptoms whatsoever. Now, you might be wondering, well, how did that lead to Anna having depression or brain fog? What is that connection? This is the most surprising of them all. And that is that nearly 95% of our serotonin is made in our gut. That's our feel-good neurotransmitter. And what happens when we have yeast, it sort of lays a layer over our gut, and then we can't secrete our serotonin. I see this day in and day out in my clinic. People coming in, they're being put on antidepressants. How do antidepressants work? They block your serotonin receptor, so you have more serotonin floating around. Well, why don't you have enough serotonin floating around in the first place? Not always, but for many people I see in my clinic, it's because they have Candida laying this layer. They can't secrete their serotonin. So what we do is we get rid of the yeast or the Candida, and then they can make their serotonin, and their mood swings, their anxiety, their depression, it goes away, people. They don't need the antidepressant anymore. It's incredible. That's one of those big magic bullets that I have that I was telling you about. Also, in terms of the brain fog that we've been talking about, as I said, I hear it's the biggest complaint I see is brain fog. That can often, for many people, be coming from the yeast. What yeast does is it produces alcohol and acetaldehyde, and these are actually toxic to our nervous system. It's why people with Candida can actually have neurologic problems, dizziness, be off balance. Some people I've even seen, report feeling drunk. This is why. And why they can have poor concentration, poor memory. You walk in the room, you can't remember why you walked in, brain fog. And I've even seen it to be the cause for ADD and ADHD in some children. So back to how is all of this possible? So you're mentioning, all of these symptoms. I talked about some of them there. How that part is possible, but how is it that, you have a nail fungus or you have a vaginal yeast infection, and why isn't that just there? Why is that more systemic, or how can it lead to all these different problems? And it's because Candida in and of itself has been implicated in leaky gut. Many of you all who know me have heard me talk about a 4R program. The first step in healing a gut is something called a 4R program. And the first step is getting rid, R, of infections in the gut, Candida being one of the biggest. So it sits in its yeast budding phase, and then as it grows and overgrows, it turns into a true hyphae and then can slip through those and poke little holes in your gut. So leaky gut is a term that I like to use and describe it like a drawbridge. Our gut is normally semi-permeable so that we can let in what I call the small boats, our micronutrients and macronutrients, but it should never let in the big boats, things like gluten, dairy, yeast, things that should never get in. But when our gut is leaky, when it's been caused by antibiotics or food or infections like Candida, it's a double whammy. Candida can cause leaky gut and then slip through and stimulate your immune system. Then these drawbridges open up and these large molecules that were never meant to get in do. Right below our gut is our immune system, and our gut is only one cell layer thick. So as soon as something comes across that gut that isn't supposed to be there, our immune system goes on high alert. And that can then lead to all of these systemic whole body problems that conventional medicine tries to treat as a single one-off problem. The nail fungus, occasionally it really can just be nail fungus, but it really is a clue to me that something deeper is going on. Likely Candida overgrowth going on in the gut. Those recurrent vaginal yeast infections time and time again. It's because nobody's gone down to the root and treating it at the root. They're treating it at the place where the symptom is. And that is where conventional medicine is missing the boat, folks. So Candida can cause a lot of skin issues, as we talked about here. So when I see people coming in with unexplained rashes in my office, certainly the things that many of you all already wrote about, which is eczema, psoriasis, rosacea. I saw a lot of people, I see a lot of people commented in the very beginning that they were struggling with this. Tinea versicolor, many of you all might not know what that is, but those are those white spots that when you go out in the sun, they get even more visible. That's typically a fungus as well. And just itching. So anal itching, vaginal itching, those two words, anal itching, in medicine we say something is pathognomonic. When we hear that word, we know it means this. When I hear rectal itching, yeast is what I think. When I hear vaginal itching, yeast is one of the things. Jock itch for men, yeast, one of the things I think about. Typically, it's down deeper too, and you need to get to the root cause. So, who in the chat box can tell me what is the gateway to health? If you could put in the chat box, what's the gateway to health? So we have three, again, strategies for beating Candida, which is unlocking the gateway to health, discovering and eliminating our 4 dirty secrets, and recognizing and reversing the Candida cascade. So it looks like Karen, Kurt, Sandy, Sonia, Heather, Donna, Lori, Pat, Danielle, all of y'all are getting gut, gut, gut. Awesome. All right. So, oops, sorry about that. So back to Anna's story. So remember, she came in with these seemingly unrelated symptoms. How many of you all have been to your doctor with any one of these symptoms and left his or her office with a prescription drug to try to treat that condition? How many of you actually left with a doctor saying, I wonder if this could be Candida? So Anna, struggling with the brain fog, the fatigue, the acne, the sugar cravings, weight gain, bloating, and depression, left, remember, with all those prescription medications. However, luckily, after years of being frustrated, multiple doctors, prescription after prescription, and getting no help whatsoever, she landed her way in my office, and she got rid of it. So what would your life be like if you could get rid of Candida? So many people. Sandy's saying she left with 3 prescriptions. Carrie, yes, many times. Kim, me, and it made it worse. Worse anxiety medications. Jane, yes, she got a t-shirt. I wonder what doctor gave you a t-shirt. Melissa left with Zoloft. Karen left 3 different doctors, and one maybe said it might be fungal, but didn't even check. So sounds like many of you all have been in the boat that Anna's been in. And I've been in that boat too, failed by conventional medicine. So Anna, after we treated Anna for Candida, and she got rid of her Candida overgrowth, Anna returned to my office literally 30 days later with energy and vitality. Her skin had completely cleared. I don't think she'd been at her ideal weight at 30 days, but certainly at 60. She was at her ideal weight. She'd lost those extra 15 pounds. The bloating, she told me, had gone away within days. The brain fog lifted and the depression was gone. And most importantly, she was off all these medications, right? I mean, she had left with a bag full of medications that weren't working for her and weren't ever getting the root cause. She was off of them. We treated her naturally and she got her life back. So I want to know from you guys. Oh, David was told it was all in his head. So I want to hear from you guys. What would your life be like? You know, that's what Anna's life was like. But what would your life be like if you were able to get rid of your symptoms, whatever you're dealing with, the brain fog, the bloating, the itching, the dandruff, where you feel like you can't even go out, you know, you can't wear a black t-shirt because you're worried. What would your life be like? So I want you to be able to regain your confidence and be able to say goodbye to these embarrassing symptoms. You know, literally, I have people, they won't wear black because they have dandruff so badly. So what will your life be like? Michelle is saying bliss. Chris is saying he'd love to get rid of the brain fog. But tell me, what are you going to be doing when you're not spending time and energy going to doctors, searching the internet for an answer? What is it that you will be doing more of? What is it that you love? When you can feel like yourself again. Let's see. Leanne will be active and she'll be free. John will be enjoying life. Heather will actually be living. I might start crying over here, guys. And many of you all started off by saying that you had autoimmunity, and I didn't get too much into this. I did originally, and then we pared down the slides because we thought it was going to be a bit too much. But I do want to spend a second here talking about how that is really, you know, when I talk about autoimmunity, 80% of your immune system's in your gut. So if you have an autoimmune condition, something's going on in your gut. I have never seen an autoimmune patient, I don't think, in my clinic that I can remember that did not also have Candida. So something's going on in your gut. I can't say for sure it's Candida, but likely Candida could be a cause for you. So let's go over some of these responses. So Annette would be enjoying nature. Elaine would be finishing her dissertation. Well, I'm proud of you for that. That doesn't sound like fun, but I'm sure it will be an accomplishment. So Michelle will have her life again. Awesome. So here's where I mentioned to you guys, if you are open to learning more about where you could get more information regarding a solution. So here it is. It's the Candida Control Program. And what I'd like you to know is that, you know, this is based on what I've used with my own patients. It's the exact same, protocol that I use with all of my patients. So let's walk through this now. How it works is it's 3 simple steps that we're going to be using to beat your Candida for good, in 3 simple steps. So why it works is because I've used this with literally thousands and thousands of patients, and they've come back to me telling me it has worked. Conventional medicine failed me, and I do not want it to fail you too. It's a proven solution based on my research and decade of clinical experience. And I keep tweaking it with each time that I'm doing a program and I get feedback from people. So this is an ever-evolving process. It's a step-by-step instructions and all of the tools that you need and support from me and my team. So we have every meal mapped out for you with recipes and shopping guides so that you're not spending countless hours in the store and in your kitchen. We have a step-by-step guide with everything you need that's mapped out for 30 days so that there's no guesswork. It's like having me right next to you in your home, coaching you on exactly what to do. As part of the challenge, we include all of the supplements that you need that are an important part of treating the Candida and getting rid of the Candida for good. It's like you are sitting with me as a patient in Austin in my office. It's the exact same supplements and the exact same protocol that I use here in my clinic. We have amazingly delicious recipes. You know, I worked very hard with my registered dietitian. She and I created all of these recipes so that it would be super easy and delicious, that your spouse and your children, if they want to do this with you, that they can. And of course, if you are somebody dealing with autoimmunity, all of the meals are approved for the Myers Way autoimmune or AIP programs. So, and as a plus, you even get dessert on this program. So look at that chocolate mousse right there. It's one of my favorite desserts, and you actually do get dessert on a Candida protocol program. Pretty amazing, isn't it? So you can be Candida for life. And somebody's asking about vegetarian options and about vegans and about children. So you guys are asking me all kinds of questions that I have some frequently asked questions I'm going to get to in a minute. And then I'm actually going to answer your questions live here in a minute as well. But you can be Candida free for life. I've seen it time and time again. You know, people describe it as this light bulb literally being turned on. It's that magic bullet that I have that has literally changed thousands of people's lives. So what will your transformation be like? Many people said they wanted to go hiking. They wanted to get back to being with their family. They didn't want to be anxious or depressed anymore. They didn't want to have brain fog. They wanted to be able to finish their dissertation. So you all have your own goals for why you want to be Candida free. And if not, only for preventing some further complication. So, you know, in fact, I was in my clinic yesterday and I had a patient with fibromyalgia, and she could literally barely get off the couch when we first started together, and she had pain throughout her body. You know, Candida is one of these things that can really be misdiagnosed as fibromyalgia. And once we treated her for that, it was incredible. She had her life back. She was alive. She was back at work. She was off the sofa, and she had her vitality back. So this program is different because I am a physician. There are many programs that you guys see online, and thereby I'm not diminishing anyone's degrees, but by health coaches or nutritionists or even chiropractors, people who actually can't prescribe or that see patients. So this has been designed by me based on my clinical experience treating thousands and thousands of patients. It's the exact same protocol that I use in my clinic. There's nothing different about it. I've literally worked with thousands of patients, and so this is based on feedback from them and how I've tweaked it. And you get all of the guidance and tools and support that you need to succeed. All of this comes with a 30-back money day guarantee. No questions asked. I fully stand by this program. I know it's effective. I know it works. I know you will get your life back, and I stand by that. If for any reason you don't, 30 days money back guarantee. No risk. So the Candida Control Program is going to help you get your energy and vitality back so that you can go on vacation and actually enjoy it, because you'll have the energy to explore the sites, to go hiking, to go swimming, to go back to yoga, whatever it is that you want to do. You're not going to have forgetfulness anymore. You're going to regain your clear thinking so that your brain is firing on all cylinders, so you're at the top of your game, whether it's in your career or just in your passions. You're not going to have rashes anymore, dry skin, itching, nail fungus. Imagine being able to wear those open-toed shoes or a tank top again, or a bikini and feeling great about yourself, or not having to avoid wearing black. No more gas, bloating, or digestive issues. Imagine what that flat tummy is going to look like. Connecting to that former version of yourself. Can you even remember what it feels like? No more mood swings, so that you can do the things that you enjoy with your children, with your family, with your friends, and not be short-fused. So I offer this program all the time. It's always on my website. It's $249. You get everything that I just mentioned to you for $249. If you go on my website right now, that's where it is. I feel like that's a very minimal investment. It includes all the supplements that you need to get your life back. You know, if you flew to Austin and you saw me, which I'm not even taking new patients, it would be thousands and thousands of dollars. So $249. But I'm going to tell you about a special program. And this special program is something that I only offer sometimes once a year, sometimes twice a year. This is the last time this year I'm going to be offering this. And every time I offer this, we get better at it and we get feedback from people and we tweak it and we make it even more amazing. So what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be doing a Beat Candida Together Candida Control Challenge. So hopefully there are going to be thousands of us, including me and my registered dietitian, are going to be doing this with you, alongside you. And we pick these dates. We have a prep week beginning Monday, August 28th. And the reason we picked that date is because tomorrow is my birthday and I have some gluten-free, dairy-free ice cream cakes sitting in the freezer. And somebody brought me paleo chocolate chip cookies that are sitting in my office. So I'm going to be indulging this weekend. So we have started the prep week after my birthday. And then next weekend, I'm going home to New Orleans to show off my baby girl, Elle, to all of my family. And I know we'll be celebrating in New Orleans as well. So we're going to hit the ground running when I get back from Labor Day. So hopefully those dates work for you guys too. But the enrollment, so that we can all go through this challenge together, including me, and I'm going to show you how you're going to get access to me as well during this challenge, ends Sunday, August 27th. So please join me in this challenge by signing up before August 27th. Now, the reason we're doing this all together is that we have found, in my experience, I've done this a few times, that there is power in numbers, and that when we do it together, when we have thousands of people doing this together, we are going to all be more committed. We're going to be together every step of the way, and you're going to have exclusive access to me and my team, in addition to some bonuses that will not be available any other time. So in this challenge, what you're going to get is a member-only support community. So many people really wanted us to revive our Facebook group, and we are doing that. The people have spoken, and I have listened. We're upping our private Facebook community, but this one will just be for those people going through the challenge. So you will have an intimate setting with me and my team and Dana to be answering your questions in the Facebook community. You're going to have support from other people also going through the challenge. You're going to have accountability and, of course, inspiration. And there are going to be bonus tips and resources that are going to be posted in the members-only community throughout the challenge. In addition to that, this is not all, everybody. In addition to that, you are going to get 4 live Q&A video. We used to do them as calls. Now we're going to do them as a video, almost like a Facebook Live, but inside the Facebook community only. So when I do a Facebook Live, there are literally tens of thousands of people trying to ask questions. I do my best to answer them all, but I literally cannot. So this is only going to be the people who have signed up for the challenge. By Sunday, will be able to view these videos and ask me and Dana questions. Last time we did this, we did it as phone calls, and they were supposed to be an hour, and they ended up all going well over an hour because I was very committed to answering every single question that was asked. So when you get me 100%. You're also going to get additional guidance from us as we go through the program. So remember that this is typically $249 on my website, and you don't get any of the stuff that I just mentioned to you. But now through Sunday, if you sign up for the challenge, you get it for the same low price of it's actually $50 off, $249, and you get all of the added bonuses that I've just mentioned to you. The live support in the community, as well as the Q&A calls with us. So just know that if you spent an hour with me and Dana, that it would cost you literally over $1,000. If you looked at what I charge an hour for an appointment, what Dana charges, and you're going to get with this 4 calls or 4 live videos with us where you can ask us anything you want, hopefully regarding to Candida, for only $249. So this challenge is exclusive access to me and Dana. plus a huge community of people to support you. And again, this is the last time this year. Well, this is the only time we've ever offered this. And this is the only time this year that we're going to be offering this. So you've got to register before Sunday night. If you'd like to fast track your success, we have an additional package if you would like to upgrade the gut repair upgrade for $329. And the point of this is, remember that the gut is the gateway to health. And so this includes my top 3 gut healing supplements so that you can unlock the gateway to health more quickly. It includes collagen to sort of plug up the holes in a leaky gut and allow it to heal more quickly. L-glutamine, which supports to rejuvenate and turn over those gut cells more quickly so that your gut is restored faster. And digestive enzymes, which help lower the digestive burden so that you're restoring your gut more quickly. And these are offered at an additional discount when you upgrade today. And that, of course, includes all of the things that I mentioned previously with the supplements that come along with the program, the access to me and Dana, and, of course, all the tools that you need. Now, as I mentioned, I'm no longer taking new patients so that I can spend time with my daughter. And so we recently turned away literally over 1,000 people on a waiting list. I've just sent out an email letting them know that I would not be taking people off of the waiting list. So if you or someone you know has been on that waiting list or has been considering coming to see me in Austin, that unfortunately is not an option anymore. So what I did when I released an autoimmune solution program recently, and I offered 10 consultations with me in addition to that program, and those literally sold out in 2 minutes. So my staff begged me if I would please consider just opening up a couple of spots. So I agreed. I've opened up 3 one-on-one consultations with me. You'll get a 50-minute case review by me. You can submit labs, case history, reports, whatever you want. I'll review that and we'll talk for 50 minutes on a video call one-on-one. It also includes the gut repair upgrade and, of course, the Candida challenge. You know, I've loved doing these over the last, I'm wrapping up doing them from the autoimmune solution program. And just the feedback I got from patients was, or from people, they weren't patients, was really amazing. And people got such value out of that. So I'm happy to be able to provide that to 3 people if anyone is interested in that program. Now, if you act now and you take action today and join our challenge, you join me and Dana on this challenge. Come on, guys. We are going to give you a guided video meditation with Dr. Jim Gordon. And Dr. Jim Gordon is a specialist or a world leader, frankly, in mind-body medicine. He's a Harvard physician, and he's the director of the Center for Mind-Body Medicine. And as I spoke about, stress is one of those secret root causes that is causing Candida. So we could all probably use a little help from Dr. Jim Gordon. Now, quickly, I want to just share some feedback of people who've done this program in the past and let them share in their own words what their experience was like. This program was a godsend. 2 different doctors basically laughed at me when I told them I had Candida and that it was causing many of my symptoms. I took matters into my own hands by taking a chance on this program. And I am so grateful that I did. My symptoms are gone and I feel great. I love reading these success stories. Literally, goosebumps, head to toe right now. This program has literally changed my life. Not only are my symptoms of Candida gone, but I don't struggle with allergies since doing the program, while everyone around me seems to be sick. Thanks, Natalie. After this challenge, my brain fog and fatigue are gone. Dr. Myers, you saved my marriage and my job. I don't struggle to find words or lose my purse. My brain works again. I have energy for my family, my career, and my passions. I am me again. Thank you, Jennifer. Jennifer, I'm so thrilled. This program is the most helpful I've ever done. The shopping guides and recipes were of immense help. I don't know of any other program that would make this challenge so easy and doable. If you have Candida issues or suspect you do, give this challenge a try and you will not regret it, and you will have great recipes to add to your routine afterwards. I have one more before we get into the questions, guys. I'm going to be answering your questions here in just a minute. This program has changed the course of my life for the better forever. I have chronic asthma and have been sick for 5 months using inhalers, nebulizers, allergy pills, allergy shots, antibiotics, steroid shots, and prednisone. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. After a week of eating the foods and taking the supplements laid out in the plan, my lungs began to clear up from congestion. By the end of 30 days, I was sold on functional medicine healing my body. I have gained back my energy and feel better than I've ever felt in years. So that's certainly, asthma. We didn't really go over that, but asthma, allergies, and sinus stuff can often be Candida as well. So I want to help you can beat Candida for good, everybody. So I, again, only offer this challenge 1 or 2 times a year. We did this once earlier in the year. It was different. We've even made upgrades to this one. You get more actually out of this one than you did the previous ones. Hope nobody's listening from a previous one. And this is the last time we're going to be offering it this year. So don't forget, if you sign up between now and midnight Sunday night, you get all of the things that I discussed previously, all of the supplements you need, all of the information and recipes that you need, as well as support that you need to beat Candida for good, for what you need to get back to energy, vitality, joy, and have your health back. I don't know that there's a price. I certainly don't feel that there's a price anybody can pay to have their health back. And this is all for $249. Probably less than many of you all have spent in copays, going to doctors, and prescription copays to not get an answer and to finally have your answer and your life back. So now what I'm going to do is go through some frequently asked questions, which were submitted. These are based on questions that have been submitted up until this moment and previously. And then I'll go live. Well, not that I'm not live now, but then I'll also answer your questions for those of you who have questions. Okay. So, and please remember that these questions are regarding the program. I cannot offer individual medical advice on a webinar. So do I need the supplements or will the diet alone work? So first of all, please know that everything that you need to be successful comes in the challenge package. So you get everything that you need, which includes the supplements. So can diet work alone? I'll be honest with you. I don't see that it can. I mean, of course, I'm seeing people come to my office and they've already tried that and they've tried multiple other things and it has not worked for them. So, diet does have an impact and is obviously part of the program is to change the diet. So there will be some impact from diet alone. Do I think that it can 100% eradicate the Candida? Typically not. I do think that you need the 3-step approach that I walk you through, which is killing the Candida and also healing the gut. And the program comes complete with everything you need to do that. Do I need testing before I do the program? So this is a question I get quite frequently, and I would say the answer is no. If you went through and you responded yes to any of the symptoms that I mentioned previously with the rashes, with the fungal on the nails, the dandruff, the bloating, the brain fog, the fatigue, I would say that those are enough symptoms that Candida could be your problem. Everything that we're doing here is all natural. We're changing the diet. We're adding in really good, high quality, good probiotics. Everybody could benefit from that. And then we're taking some all natural supplements to kill the yeast. So it's perfectly safe to do without having a test showing that you have Candida. Can a vegan or a vegetarian do this program? Absolutely, you can. So I just want to caution those who are vegetarians and vegans that much of your protein intake is probably coming from grains and legumes, and those ultimately are carbs that can feed Candida. So we do limit the amount of starchy vegetables and fruit that you have on the program. So as long as you're able to still get enough protein, then there is no issue for you to do this program. You do not need to eat meat in order to do this program. I already have autoimmunity. Will this work for me? Absolutely, yes. As I mentioned, I've seen thousands and thousands of patients with autoimmunity in my clinic. I test them. I rarely have seen anybody who does not have yeast overgrowth as one of their root causes with autoimmunity. So, and as I mentioned, if you don't deal with the gut, then you're leaving yourself exposed to autoimmunity. So the first place I start in healing autoimmunity is in healing the gut. The first place in healing the gut is looking at what infections are in the gut. And for most people, it's Candida. So you're in the right place if you have autoimmunity. I have SIBO, or small bowel bacterial overgrowth. Can I treat both at the same time? Absolutely, you can. We get this one very frequently, and Candida and SIBO do often go hand in hand, and often they have many of the same symptoms or share the same symptoms. So this is not included in the program, but I have a SIBO kit that includes a different type of probiotic and a different type of herbal treatment to effectively treat the SIBO. So what I would want you to do, and we of course talk all about this in the program itself because this is so common that people have both of these. We cover this in prep week and in the Q&A, and we'll talk about it in the community as well. So we tell you exactly how to do that, but you can do both programs at the same time. They share a fundamental of the diet is very similar for both. It's the treatment protocols that are slightly different, and you can do them at the same time. My Candida keeps coming back. Will this work for me? Absolutely. Remember, this program is designed by a physician and is proven to be effective. I've used this with thousands of patients. We do talk about, again, in the program material, we have some special information about recurrent Candida and why that could be. Two of the main things I think about would be either heavy metal toxicity or mercury, or toxic mold. And so I have some special resources surrounding that in the program as well. Will I have access? How will I have access to the materials? When you join now, you get instant access. So all of the program materials are downloadable. You can easily save and print them. And of course, we have bonus content that gets sent via email. So as long as you have an internet connection, you should have access to the programs. So the support calls, the community calls that are the videos that we'll be doing on the Facebook page, those will of course remain in the Facebook page, and they'll also get emailed out to you. So as long as and you can come back to these at any time. If you're not available for them, I'll talk about that in a minute. If you're not available for the calls, we'll send out an email reminding you of them. If you can't be available, you can submit your questions ahead of time and those will get answered. And of course, the videos will stay up in the Facebook group as well as get emailed out to you. So if you cannot be there to hear your question answered, you can watch it later. And if you cannot be there to submit your question, you can submit it earlier. We are here to be of service to you. We want you to get well. We want you to be Candida for good, and we want this to be of value for you. So we are going to do everything that we can to make sure that those questions get answered. I'm on a budget. Won't this cost more to cook like this? I would say if you're somebody out there eating junk and packaged food, absolutely not. It's actually going to save you money. You're going to be cutting out a lot of junk food and processed food. So a lot of people end up saving money. And nowadays you can, it amazes me as I go in Target these days. I practically do half my grocery shopping in Target now, and Costco has so much good organic foods and bulk items that it makes it so much more affordable for so many more people. What if I eat out or travel during the program? That is absolutely not a problem. Again, you just need an internet connection to get access to the community. You can download your resources ahead of time. And we have easy, handy cheat sheets. So you should know how to order or at least be able to plan your meals ahead of time. Can I do the program if I'm pregnant or nursing? So again, pregnancy is a high estrogen state. And so this can really be a breeding ground for Candida. So following so first of all, yes, you can do the program. There's a caveat to that. I'd like you to be following the diet part of the program if you're breastfeeding or pregnant. You're not missing out on any crucial nutrients. We're decreasing our carb intake a bit. But the recipes and the plan is chock full of real whole foods to support a healthy pregnancy and nursing. You'll be taking a good high quality probiotic, which I would recommend if you're pregnant or nursing anyway. I have a lot of helpful topics and Facebook Lives on this very topic. However, the supplements that fight the Candida, there is not enough research shown during pregnancy and nursing. They are all natural. Many come from coconut oil. I think that you would be fine. However, there's not enough research, so I need to say for you to not take the supplements if you're nursing or you're pregnant. You can do the diet, take the probiotic, and once you're finished with both of those, move on to the supplements. Is this protocol safe for children? Absolutely it is. Again, the diet is a well-balanced, healthy diet. If your child can swallow pills, then we have dosages on my website, or my store team can help you with that. To help you modify that for your child, or you of course can set up a wellness coaching with Dana to guide specifically to your child. But doing the diet, taking the supplements can happen if they can swallow pills. Okay, so again, I wanted to thank each and every one of you guys for spending time with me. I'm going to get to your individual questions here literally in 1 second. I just wanted to thank each and every one of you for spending this time with me. I know that you took time out of your day, so I have immense gratitude for you guys. I want to congratulate you for, I want to congratulate Catherine, Philly, Bonita, Jody, Joy, Cheryl, Lynette, Maureen, Kenneth, Donna, and Rosemary have already purchased the program. In fact, we have someone who's even purchased one of the consults with me. So there are only 2 left, folks. So I just want to, congratulate everybody that is here, taking back their health, particularly the people who have gone ahead and committed and joined and signed up for the program. I literally have goosebumps head to toe. It's an incredible, gonna get teary-eyed here. This is honestly the best birthday present anybody could give me, is you all committing to taking back your health, committing to yourself to get healthy. Okay, I'm getting teary-eyed. Okay, so just to recap things before I get into your questions here, if you'd like to accelerate your success, again, the program is $249. You get the information and the live calls with me and Dana. You get all the supplements you need and everything that you need to be taking back your health from Candida. If you'd like to upgrade your success with the 3 supplements that include the collagen, the L-glutamine, and the digestive enzymes, you can do that at an additional discounted price of $329. Or if you, like the other person, I don't want to call out their name for privacy reasons, who purchased a consult with me, would like all of that, plus 50 minutes of my time one-on-one on a video to ask me anything that you'd like. Some people have literally just thanked me for helping them get their health back. Other people have sent in all kinds of labs and information for me to review with them. So it has really run a gamut of literally chatting with people to helping people consult on their health. So that's available to you. And don't forget, if you purchase and join today, you will get the bonus video with Dr. Jim Gordon, who's going to guide you on a meditation to help you with your stress, which is a root cause for Candida. So by joining today for $249, you will get instant access, and I'm going to jump on to your questions right now. So I'm going to take 1 sip of water, and then I'm going to be answering your questions. Okay, Kathy is asking me, is the program paleo? Absolutely. So all of my programs, I call it the Myers Way because I've tweaked that slightly from paleo, but all of my programs, you have a commitment from me that all of the programs will be universally compatible, meaning that if you have autoimmunity or you're just doing paleo, or even if you're doing autoimmune paleo, all of my programs adhere to those guidelines. Christina, can you eat fruit on the program? Yes, Christina, you can eat fruit. We have you minimize the amount of fruit. We walk you through exactly which fruits are okay to eat, which ones are not, and how much you can have. Margaret, do you need to do the leaky gut program first? No, Margaret, you do not. The first step in healing your gut is to get rid of infections. And this is an infection. So by doing this program, it is one of the steps in healing your gut. Now, of course, if you'd like to upgrade and get the program with the gut healing supplements, that's going to help speed up that process because you'll be having, additional supplements supporting that. But even if you just do the basic program for $249, you will be helping to heal your gut. Casey, what's involved in prep week? Is it just shopping lists? So we have a whole lot of video training that you'll get from us. There's going to be one of the calls potentially during prep week with me and Dana, or not calls. I keep calling them calls, but it's video, which I think people have given us the feedback they prefer that over a call, and then you all can submit your questions ahead of time or during the video. So there is a lot more stuff that happens during prep week. And if I don't know the point of that email or that question, if it's because you're going to be out of town, you can submit your question ahead of time, and you can, it will be there recorded and waiting for you when you get back. So if you're traveling or those weeks don't work for you, I know a lot of kids are still getting back in school and stuff like that, everything will be available to you. Kathy, okay, is the info available before the start date if I want to start early? Absolutely. So we have this as a timed sequence going out. However, if that doesn't fit your schedule, we can get the information and you can do it at your own pace. We don't prefer that because we do believe that there is power in numbers. And again, I'm going through this with you. So a lot of people like the idea of that. But if it doesn't work for your schedule and you want to take advantage of this amazing offer at this price of $249 with all of the bonuses and all of the additional resources that you get, as long as you do that by Sunday at midnight, you can still get that and you can move at a different pace. Yes, absolutely. I know everybody has, busy lives. Okay. So does your program address other issues that feed into Candida, including mercury? Yes, we have some additional information that is included about, particularly, like I said, the toxic mold and mercury and some of the reasons for recurrent Candida, or reasons that I see in my clinic. So do I recommend doing the autoimmune program first or Candida? That is kind of a little bit difficult for me to answer because I don't know what kind of things are going on for you. So I'm having a hard time answering that one for you. Let's see, would I do the autoimmune or the Candida? Maybe the Candida, because, the gut is the gateway to health. And by healing your Candida, you're setting yourself up to, heal your gut and help all of the other conditions that you may have as well. So I'm in the heat of the moment here going to go for Candida. You guys can tell this is really live and I have not reviewed these questions. I'm looking at them one-on-one. So David, if you do not, so if you don't have Facebook, you don't have to have Facebook, but that is where those will be. Now, that is where the community is going to be, where a lot of information is happening. However, you can submit if you don't want to get Facebook. Of course, it's free and you can join and just do it for the Candida challenge and just join the Candida membership place, our free membership site within Facebook. If you do not want to do that for whatever reason, you can submit your questions ahead of time. We'll get those answered. And then you will get an email with the video recordings, and you do not need to have Facebook in order to view the video recordings. You'll get a link where that will be hosted somewhere and you can see that. So you can certainly do the program challenge. That's an excellent question. Had not crossed my mind that somebody might not have Facebook, but there are plenty of people out there who don't. So thank you for asking that question, David, because there may be other people who are in your same boat. So the answer is you can join for free and just create a temporary account, not have any friends or anything, and just do it so that you can be involved in the community. Or if you choose not to do that, you will still get be able to ask the questions and get the videos afterwards. And all of the information that we'll be posting in the community can be emailed out to you as well. So you'll just be missing out on the camaraderie of the community. So Nancy, if I can't do this until late September, should I go ahead and purchase this now? Nancy, that's completely up to you. This is available on my website all the time at $249. So this is available all the time. However, this particular challenge where we're doing it together, you get access to the community Facebook group, you get access to the live calls, and the bonus information is not always available. So, if you purchase it now and do it at your own pace, then, you get all that bonus stuff for the same price as if you purchase it later. but completely up to you. Do it, at your own time. AJ, what if the Candida is not gone after 30 days? Can I extend the protocol? And if so, for how long? Absolutely. You can continue to do the program. We do find with many, many people, this is resolved after 30 days. However, everybody's in a different boat, and how they got Candida could have come from many different ways. And some people, it is more easily treated than others. So certainly, in fact, some of the supplements you'll have extra of, and it lasts longer than 30 days. So it might just be buying the probiotic again. You should have plenty of caprylic acid actually to continue on beyond the 30 days. And of course, we're always here. If you needed any extra guidance, you could set up a wellness coaching appointment with Dana. But yes, it's not a problem to continue beyond the 30 days. Anita, do you ship to Norway? So this is a great question. So all of the program, if you have an internet connection, you can get all of the program materials, because this particular program comes with supplements. Something physically needs to be shipped to you. And yes, we do ship everywhere in the world. So, or anywhere in the world. You just, of course, want to check with your country. Some countries, I was speaking to somebody the other day in the Philippines. She said it was super easy to get supplements there. Very quick, easy process. We hear some countries, things can get held up in customs. So you just may want to know how easy or hard it is in customs to receive packages. But on our end, we ship anywhere in the world, and it's not a problem. So again, unless there's another question that comes in or not, please know, again, this program is available at all times on my website for $249, but you do not get the extra bonuses. So the extra bonuses this time around are that you're going to be getting the live community support in the Facebook group. You're going to get 4 Q&A videos with me and Dana. And then if you'd like to upgrade for the gut repair healing, you can do that for $329, and that's an additional bonus than if you just bought the those supplements on their own. So we've even discounted them further to add into this program. So you'll be getting the collagen to repair your gut. The L-glutamine helps fight sugar cravings and, of course, helps rejuvenate those gut cells and have them turn over. The digestive enzymes to support digestion. And then I think there's still 2 available. We have a few more people who've committed. We have Tanya, Jennifer, Penny, Margaret, Mary, Susie, Cynthia, and Amanda. So thank you all. It's an incredible birthday present to me to have each and every one of you all being committed to taking back your health. So we still have 2 more spots for the Candida Control Challenge one-on-one with me, where you get a 50-minute case review. So I just want to, thank you guys. Kind of go back to Anna and her story. Conventional medicine has failed me. It's my mission to not have it fail you too. I just, it literally makes me both sad and angry to hear the stories that I hear day in and day out. People just like Anna, people just like you, gone into their doctors with this constellation of symptoms. They're not getting answers. Worse yet, many times they're being told it's in their head, or that they're crazy, or even worse, getting drugs that can have even worse side effects for people. So please, let's go get the solution. I've laid it all out for you right here. This is based on years of experience. I did all the hard work. I've worked, I've done this on myself. I've been through this program myself. I've used it with thousands of patients. It's a proven program that, I've taken all the guesswork out for you, because I've already had thousands of people go through this. We've tweaked it. We've perfected it. It works. So don't sit there with these symptoms, with the brain fog, with doctors dismissing you, with you thinking that there's no hope, with you thinking that, it's just more drugs, or it's all in your head. I want you to know that it's not in your head. There's an easy, simple solution for you to get rid of brain fog, for you to get rid of the belly bloat, for you to get rid of the fatigue, for you to get back to your life, for you to get back like Anna did, to loving her life, to not being a short fuse with her children, to not being a short fuse with her husband, to getting back to enjoying a sex life, to getting back to not sleeping on the sofa all day, to be able to get up, have vitality, have energy, to do the things that you guys said you wanted to do, to hike, to finish your dissertation, to go on vacation, to simply live. So I'm going to be leaving you guys now, but I just want you to know that there's hope. It's available. It's always available on my website. Any day you want, it's here for you. If you want to do it with me, you want to do it with Dana, we can all do it together. Right after I go indulge tomorrow, or actually as soon as I'm done here, I think I'm going to eat one of those chocolate chip cookies that's been calling my name. Of course, it's paleo, gluten-free, dairy-free, calling my name, and then we'll all indulge starting right after Labor Day. All right, everybody, again, thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate your time, and you all should, honor and appreciate yourselves for taking the time to show up and be here for yourself to take back your health. Y'all have a great afternoon. Take care.